So earlier, I put this target in yesterday. You'll notice that underneath source 1, AL is aluminum. These are kilowatt hour tracking. So I don't know who's going to be the individual changing targets most of the time.
It's me.
You think it's going to be me?
Lucky you. So if you get a new target, you can go to this target setup, and a lot of this is in the manual also. You can click. And I also have this on your desktop. I'm going to show you some guides that will explain how to go through this. But you can click new, and you can put the parameters for the target in there. So I installed this yesterday, so I just put aluminum 31522 and as much data as I could. Now, one thing you'll notice up here is it says maintenance monitors in red. I don't know how much usage you're going to get out of your target, and so you really need to quantify whenever your target's been depleted to a point that you want the machine to enunciate, hey, I should change my target. So you'll notice that there's warning thresholds and then a maximum usage threshold hours within here. Think of it as your car. If you're driving your car and your oil needs change, you get a light that comes on that says, like mine says, 20% oil left. Like, okay. And then after, if I just keep driving, then it's like, hey, change your oil now. So these are the values that you can, hour-wise, you can put in here, and then it'll display. It'll turn yellow or red if you like. Yellow if you're on the warning, red if you exceed it. Yeah, and I have a guide that tells you how to do this. But the reason I was pointing this out is that with the power supply right here, so we're on source 1. You notice there's 2 tabs underneath it, power supply 1, and there's a setup tab. And this setup tab, this is where you enter the new target. You could put this value within here. So it's a tracked or an untracked target. And because it's tracked, it'll start to accumulate the hours associated with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I highly recommend using that just because you don't want to, be burning through material and you don't realize it, and then you're wasting a week of your time, or you could even, burn copper or whatnot underneath it. So then you'd be wasting your time because you're thinking you're, developing this material or whatnot.
So say for instance, I didn't want to have an aluminum targeted anymore. I took it out and maybe used copper or something else, and then I put the aluminum back. Will this timer go back toward the aluminum?
no, you have to reassociate with it, and on this guide it will tell you. So let's actually pull this guide up and talk about it. So on your desktop, I don't want to start Word on your computer. We're going to open up in Libre Notes because I don't want to. This is going to ask to basically get that started. So I'm going to open in Libre Office Writer. All right. So we call these quick start procedures. All right, and each of these define the specific function. This is for the target editor. This is kind of what I did yesterday. I put a new target in, I put the values in. So some of these you need to write down the values. So let's say you pulled that target out, all right, put it up on a shelf, and next month you wanted to put it in. I'd put a slip of paper or something in there that said, hey, this had 363 hours on it. You have to keep some tracker record of it. And then this tells you how you can take that value and basically whenever you reinsert that target, how you can reinstitute those numbers put in there. And it'll track it from there again. If you don't, you'll zero it out. So you always want to keep good records of it. But what I like to do, because there's a lot of complexity to the software, I like to put these guides within here. So a lot of the questions you may have, you can go here first. You can say, oh, this is how you do it. It's something tangible. So we have the ability to, talks about Taurus MagKeeper setup, Eclipse email setup. Now, I don't use this. One of our test guys uses this. So let's say that, you wanted an email setup whenever your chamber reaches a certain pressure. It can email you and say, hey, my chamber's at 1 on 7 or so. Let's say you that you didn't want to start your process before that. You could even put that in your recipe with a long wait step. Wait until my pressure is less than 1 on whatever you could run. But this will basically notify you. I've never run it or tried it. I have 56,000 emails in my inbox. I don't need any more. But Nate, the guy who wrote this, assures me that it actually works.
Cool.
Target editor we just talked about. We're going to get through this in recipe training events and other logs. Maintenance monitors was that issue I just explained, like the yellow and the red, 80% used. Generate support files, I'll show you that here in a second. Recipe logs, charts. So we're going to go through charts. EMO recovery. I think we went through an EMO recovery this morning and a cold startup. How you back up Eclipse, we're going to talk about that when we get a little further in recipe. Eclipse configuration. Upstream control master slave gas documents, so that tells you how that association works.
Yeah. One question. In case we, you know, for whatever reason we lose those files, where can we get the copy of them?
I brought it on my thumb drive.
So we just make a copy in
from my master repository. Yeah.
It's on your website somewhere, or
Well, they're actually in our test department private drive. But you know, if you're concerned, I would back it up now, just so you have. But it talks about, you know, just about everything you may need to do.
okay. Looks like I could use a bigger monitor.
Yeah.
That is for my eyes.
Yeah. So the heater. Let's actually run the heater. We'll just run it for a little bit of time. Heater turn on, not turn off. So it is 350C. I'm only going to run this to, you run it to 90C. Enter. And you load. I want to see that recipe monitor, so I'm just going to bring that up. I'm going to reset this heater. There we go. Stop this recipe. Run it again. The heater by itself, my suggestion is you turn the rotation on, so it's just not sitting there static and cooking on 2 spots. It may work the holder. I just turn it on and rotate. What this is doing is just ramping up temperature. 96. Yeah. 10-degree ramp a minute.
I'm guessing in the next 6 minutes or so it should be up.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh, I mean,
there, you kind of look up at an angle, you can see them. They're just quartz bulbs. Go on the backside heating.
Take a look. To get that video.
This brings up a good point. So let's
Yeah,
say
man.
90C or like 90 watts. You always put the ramp rate in, then the value. If you put it in the other way, it's just going to go right to that value. So you either want to ramp up or ramp down.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? If it just goes immediately.
It'll throw a lot of power at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, I try to explain like this. I'm going to say most people. Most people, when you start your car, you don't floor the gas pedal and turn the key.
Yeah, you're right.
Some people, so you just take it easy.
I do.
I've seen it. So you can see this is kind of cracking up in the temperature there. I can even change this control. So I want to go 60. No sense in keeping it a little hot.
Well, Aberdeen is kind of in the southern part of the county. I'm in the lower part of the county. Yeah.
But it's pretty simple.
I grew up literally like a mile or two from there.
You know, if you catch anything from this, you know, a lot of the pre-coined recipes you already have written, use those as templates and run those. You know, I'm just trying to show you how you run things manually and what occurs because of interlocks.
Oh, yeah, got bright in there.
About 4 hours out.
Got the heater on now. You see it's pretty.
What temperature?
I first set it for 90 and then I turned it down to 68. just because. Yeah, if you look up, there's two of them. Yeah, ITO helps. We have it a little warm. I mean, is that one of the key materials you like to run is ITO?
We used to run it. We used to call the ITO film. To create those heater filters.
Okay.
We call it all the stuff. We used to use mist.
Okay.
So,
In Gaithersburg? We have a couple tools on the
Okay, this?
Yeah.
Yeah. We do.
It's been probably 10 years since I've done it.
I'm just trying to think. It's been a while since we actually, had it. I mean, there are older tools in there now. Not in the Nano class.
So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off then. I want to kind of bounce around through some of the stuff we can just check out. Run recipe. Here's why I like the categories. It's so much easier to. I think it helps with the training
I
part.
do, yeah, I like that.
Have to be on name with that.
No, he meant that in a good way.